Hi, ladies. Thank you very much for taking the time out to talk with me today. I really loved your horror short. I thought it was very clever. It was very well written, very
Thank you.
funny, very gory, everything a horror short should be. So I guess my first most obvious question is, how did you get involved with this project, with the Horror Collective and Etheria Season 2?
So I actually met Heidi kind of randomly, and she was like, "Hey, this is." She saw the trailer, I think, for Carved, and then she was like, "Hey, you should try to submit to Etheria." And this is like 5 or 6 years back. So this short has been alive since 2014.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's had a long ride, and it keeps on getting better and better, and my parents yell at me to try to make a feature out of it. So
I think that could work,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if the COVID situation affected the filming at all, but obviously if it was shot in 2014, not so much. But how did you come up with the idea for it? I mean, like I said, it's the fun road trip, horror, get stranded, but there's with a twist. Like how did you come up with the general premise?
Well, I kind of thought about all of the the grindhouse movies that were made. I took a lot. I not took, but I was inspired by Death Proof.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, you sense that because of the four attractive chicks in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a lot of that, driving it from that. And really it was my thesis project from my college. So I actually graduated with that as my final project.
Nice.
Yeah, but sorry?
No, I was going to say, have you always been interested in horror specifically?
But I think when I first came to the US, I had an attraction to it because I grew up in Singapore, and you get a lot more access to television shows here and darker television shows here. So it's like, oh, how can I, I kind of like went out there because I was like, oh, I'm attracted to all these dark things now, and trying to get out, that 20s angst. And this is what I ended up with. So I think it was, I mean, it was like, it actually became more of like a exciting political nature that, hey, a woman directed this.
Yes.
Then yeah, it became more that than I actually thought it would be. But I see that a lot because people say, oh, this is a great satire piece. And or I can see, one woman in the audience in Utah who watched it, she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like a big FU to everyone. I love it." But
it was, and it was well acted. Marissa, you were a fantastic final girl. I don't know, did you audition for the part? Did you know Mary? Like, how did you get involved with this specific project?
I pseudo auditioned. I sent Mary my acting reel. We had a mutual friend at the time, so that's how I became involved. And I mean, Mary could probably speak more to this, but she was having trouble finding the final girl. And then our mutual friend, I think Whitney, was like, I have a girl who might actually really, really want to do this, and you might get along with her really well. And it just ended up working out. And I think we filmed over the course of almost a year, right? 6 months to a year. Yeah. So it was definitely like a really fun, long process. And we got to know each other really well. We were out on location. We had a bunch of all night shoots. So one really cold night, and we're all scantily clad.
Yes.
So it was like, it was probably in the 20s.
Oh my gosh.
And we're just running around. It's like when she called action, we drop our winter coats and run. It was pretty fun.
And be in your little skimpy, tangerine colored sundress, yes.
Totally. And I think I had 5 of those sundresses.
Oh, but I love it because it opens up and, there's the 4 girls, and most of them are doing things they're not supposed to be doing in a horror movie. You're drinking and driving and you're smoking weed, and you're not supposed to do that. And immediately I'm like, oh dear, this is going to go fantastically well. Also, I mean, you said you shot it over a year. How did that,
Yeah.
like, did you just shoot bits at a time as you could, or?
Yeah, the first DP actually moved halfway. So so he randomly moved and he told me the night before of the last shoot day. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what, 21, 22 years old. I don't even remember, but so I basically, used what I could and found a local, within the college, I found another DP, and both of them were great. It's like both of them were really good, and we matched the two, so each of the style could match, like each per each type of shot, and because we wanted to do really colorful and fun shots, especially at the gas station.
Yeah, I loved the abandoned spooky gas station. That was fantastic. Now, Marissa, have you done a lot of horror in the past? Is that your type of acting, or how did you get into acting in general?
Well, I think that horror is a really fun genre, and it allows just for so much area of play. You have the blood aspect, you often have like some action, some weapons, and I think it's just like it allows for a lot of creativity and a lot of fun on set, and working between the actor and the director, and each coming up with ideas. Mary was a whole lot of fun to work with in that genre, where, like I said, we were out in the middle of the night most of the time, just running around trying to figure it out, rolling in the dirt. So yeah, horror definitely just sets the stage for all of that stuff.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I loved the sibling rivalry between you and Ebony. I don't know if you have a sister in real life, but I loved that. I'm the hotter one, the fighting. That was very well done, very well acted, very well written.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of that is Mary's writing, for sure. It was really eloquently written. The beats were all there, and all we had to do was come to set and execute Mary's vision. So
yeah, like the line about you running in those shoes, like, 'cause how many of us have watched a horror movie and the final girl or somebody is running in ridiculous heels, and we all go, how are you running in those? And that cracked me up, because exactly, how do you even walk in those, basically?
We actually broke them on set. That was the best part.
Yeah, we had multiple pairs of those shoes also. I think I still have the dress and the shoes deep back in my closet, because how could I ever get rid of them?
No, absolutely. You shouldn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So are either of you working on anything right now? Anything in the canon?
Marissa could go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Mary can go ahead. Yeah. I mean, everything was just kind of put on pause, obviously, this year with the whole global pandemic thing. But yeah, I'm hoping next year, when, things loosen up again and are flowing, I have some projects in the canon.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Mary?
I just shot a TV pilot. I was hired to shoot remotely, and it was through a production company out of Chicago. And they randomly contacted me saying that, hey, we're bored over here, so we want to shoot something during the pandemic, but like 50% remote, 50% in person. And and so I had everyone tested beforehand. It's called Eyes. It's the main story that you can do during a pandemic is a female hacker sees something like a kidnapping on Zoom. So that's basically the TV pilot that I've been. It's completed, and we're shopping it around right now, so that's really cool.
Well, I assume the both of you will get a lot of, attention based on this short being part of Etheria. I really thought it was well done. I know the pandemic has been especially hard on people who are artists for a living. I have a lot of theater friends, a lot of movie friends, and it's been just hard all around. So I wish you guys both the best. Like I said, Marissa, you were a fantastic final girl. Mary, your script, the directing, everything, I absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
And like I said, I hope to see more of you guys both in the future.
You will.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it.